folks, JD here, and today we've got this little guy. This is the Xiaomi MiTu. It is a small brushed Wi-Fi copter that Xiaomi hope is going to go after the Tello market. So this little copter, if you have more than one, can perform air battles. It has altitude hold, it has a 720p camera to the front, it's extremely portable, the flight time lasts approximately 10 minutes, and it comes in under the 250 gram limit. And this is it. It's very bright, it's very cheerful, it's in your face, it's a really strange but really appealing shape. I like the orange, it's not too bright, it is just enough. The nice little MiTu emblem on the top as well is quite nice. So far, I like this a lot. I think this is a very nice little drone. From a design perspective, it feels quite nice, it feels really sturdy, quite rugged, but I think the main test is going to be in how it flies. So with this, folks, let's get her on the mat. Okay, so here we go. So let's turn her on. What do we got? Come on, there we go, a nice little light on the underneath it there. Let's connect to the Wi-Fi and then we'll open up the app. Now as the app goes, and in the unboxing you'll remember me saying that it was purely Japanese or Chinese language, and I haven't found out a way to change it. I've been clicking every button to the point where I altered some settings, I didn't know what I'd altered, I had to uninstall and reinstall the app. So if you guys know of either an English version or how to alter the version of the language, because I've seen a few videos and none of them detail exactly how to do it. So yeah, there we go, that's fine. It's asking me to join a network that I've already joined, and there we go, we have video. That all seems to be okay. Let's calibrate that gyro. Oh, it's not to calibrate it, it's just to move it independently. Okay, fine. Right, in which case then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record my screen like I normally would. Come on, video, there we go. I'll record my screen and I'm going to record some video from it as well. So, alright then folks, with this, what I'm going to do, stand back, I'm going to hit the automatic takeoff button just up here and let it take off. There she is in the air. And Xiaomi do hope this is going to be a Tello killer. I have seen that actually on their website time and time and time again. Ah, nice, okay. So, let's see. Ooh, she's pretty quick forward. Her responses are pretty quick, but that, I believe, is the height of her. That's it, she's not going any higher. That is her height. So, I'm guessing we can alter that, but for the second, I'm just going to be taking her around by me, just to see exactly what we've got. Now, the disturbing part for me about this is that it is Wi-Fi driven, and so far everything looks to be okay. But if you look at the transmitter, what is the one thing that we miss? We miss a Wi-Fi signal. There's no actual Wi-Fi signal meter there at all. So whereas with the Tello you can do a nice little distance video and you can take her out and you can think to yourself, wow, do you know what? I'm flying her really well. And as for the distance, she's actually doing incredibly well as well. Whereas with this, unfortunately, that is not the case. So, this is the camera. It's a 720p camera. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going, hopefully, to record some video. Now, as you can see, there is a lot of frame rate jutter as well. If I just move around and look at the camera, I haven't got my hands on the transmitter, I'm just moving around. But it looks to me like there's a lot of frame rate jitter. But she seems to be holding herself, she's holding herself quite well. If I try to put my hand underneath her, she eventually moves away, which is exactly what the Tello does with its vision system, just while it looks at you and it thinks there's an obstacle underneath, therefore it will rise up. So yeah, I think for the time being, that looks maybe okay. Let's take her up. Okay, now forward flips, that's not a problem. And now it has said something, I don't know what it said, but it has definitely said something. Let's do a backward flip. Ooh, she seems a bit heavy on those flips. She doesn't half come down and then has to raise her up quite quickly. Let's do a flip to the left. Sorry, right. And then let's do a flip to the left. Now I want to know what these errors mean on the screen, but unfortunately I can't see what they are. But there we go, flips. 4 directions without any issue. How about controlling? Oh, the battery is now very low, so I'm going to turn off the actual recording of the drone and just use my screen. Now the thing is that this says up to about 10 minutes of video, and I'm guessing that is purely flight, not fast, not video, no photos, nothing. Let's try some photos actually. So if I stand here and bring myself down a bit, I wonder how many photos we can get. Okay, so try some photos. Right, so we're still showing that we're on red battery, but to be honest, with a lot of quadcopters, that can just mean that you are very low, but ultimately you've still got about another 5 minutes of flight. Now that roof on its, see that ceiling on its ability to increase altitude is a little bit disturbing, in so much that I can't raise her up from that particular point. So there's nothing really much I can do at this point other than just to fly her side to side, front, forwards and back. There is absolutely no altitude. I can't increase her. We can't see over the field. We can just see the tops of the grass. I'm sure there's a setting somewhere for myself to take her off beginner mode or something like that. I'm going to have a real good look at that. But now I'm getting multiple errors on the screen. As they're all in Chinese, I don't know what they mean. Right, but all in all, her flight is stable. The lights are flashing, low battery, yeah. But all in all, it is extremely stable. It is something that is going to give you good flight. But I'm a little bit, if we could take it out of that Chinese language, I'm sure then we could see that we could use it to its full potential, I'm sure. I mean, it is working well. It is working well. But as for a Tello killer, no. No, I really don't think it is. I really don't think it is at all. It's, oh, the video's breaking up badly now. I lost signal there for a minute. I couldn't move the drone whatsoever. And then when I did, it tried to move it like 6 or 7 different ways from where my fingers had been trying to move it. Yeah. Thoughts? Well, yeah, I'm a little bit... I think it's good. I think the flight is nice. I think it's good. The altitude hold is perfect, as you can see. The camera itself, I think it's got a couple of issues, but I think obviously with a couple of firmware upgrades and a couple of other updates, I think it's going to be okay. As for the actual flight of it, yeah, it's very, very good. I mean, it is very stable. We have no wind here whatsoever. You can see from the tops of the grass there is no wind. It's very still and it's holding itself perfectly. It's not very loud. It has got a nice sort of sound to it, I think, to those motors. It has got a very nice air presence. Oh, I thought it was going to land then. It has got a very nice air presence. All in all, I think it's okay, you know. It's not a Tello killer though. It's really not. And if you're considering which one to get, this or the Tello, I'll tell you now, Tello, any day of the week. Just because you have those extra settings, you have those extra features, those DJI features. It has the components built by DJI, so you have, or at least I think you have, some sort of really some confidence in its build. Now I know Xiaomi have been around for ages and they've done a lot of good stuff, and they have. Some of their products are absolutely fantastic. I swear by their repeaters, absolutely swear by them, which I'm going to be doing with this guy as well at some point. But at the same time, I do think that this isn't a Tello killer. Not at all. This is not a Tello killer. But I'm enjoying it. I mean, I would enjoy it a lot more if I could actually see. Oh, it's landing, and it's landing. I would enjoy it a lot more if I could actually see or have a Wi-Fi signal on there, so I could see exactly what was happening. That's something that it is a little bit. It's a little bit perturbing, slightly, just based on the fact that if you're going to fly this, and if I'm going to attach it to a repeater, which I'm going to, then I'm going to want to take it out, I'm going to want to fly it. and I'm going to want to keep my eye on that signal to watch where it fluctuates. And yeah, I can't do that with this. I think all in all, it's a good little flyer. I think it is more of an indoor drone than an outdoor drone, I would say. I'm going to have a look at the footage to see exactly what that was like. But it didn't look as higher quality. It did look slightly as if there was frame rate jitter. So I think there's a little bit of work to be done with this little guy. But I think all in all, as a first attempt, it's very, very good. But don't mistake me, it's not Xiaomi's first attempt. Xiaomi have been making drones for ages. But it is Xiaomi's first attempt at this little guy. And I think the Tello was built with two big, one robotics company and one drone company, and they had a vision and they went out and they did it, and I think they executed it almost perfectly. Now I like the flight of this, I like its presence in the air, but I do think it's got a little bit of, I do think it's got a few updates to go, a couple of firmware upgrades, and I think then we will be good. But all in all, folks, I did enjoy it. I thought it was really good. But I still think it's got some way to go before it is actually a Tello killer. Alright then, folks, thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.